In this scenario, I'm interested in investigating why it may be taking us so long to close out some of these incidents. Now we can see in our duration metric, the average closeout time is 28 days, but it can take us up to 22 months to close out a given incident. Now we can drill a bit further in on this. By selecting this duration metric, I'm now presented with a histogram that shows me all of my incidents by their duration. I can see the minimum, the average, and the maximum closeout time, and this spike towards the left shows me the majority of my incidents are closed out in far less than 22 months. Now adjusting this slider, I can get a feel for exactly how many incidents have been closed in above or below any given threshold that I've set. So in this case, I've set it to 42 days or 6 weeks. Now we can see that almost 85% of our incidents have been closed in under 6 weeks, but we still have a good amount outside of that range. So if I'm interested in taking a look at these long-running incidents, all that I need to do is apply this as a filter, and I'll begin by looking at these 6,305 incidents that have spanned longer than that 42-day threshold. Now, one thing in this scenario that I'm interested in understanding is how often are we opening up tasks and how long is it taking us to complete those tasks, because those things can draw out the life cycle of an incident. So if I select a specific event, in this case my task open event, what I'm presented with here again is an activity, a histogram that shows me all of my tasks by their occurrences. So you can see how many times each one of these task open events has occurred as a part of these 6,300 plus incidents, and it looks like it could be occurring between 0 and 25 times. Right? That's quite a few different tasks to be opened up. Now we can also see some statistics around the previous events and post events in case there may be any correlation as to what may be occurring prior to or post one of these tasks being opened up. If I was very interested, I could drill in a bit further and only look at those incidents that had 15 or to 25 task open events. But the next step here is to get a bit more quantitative. I want to see exactly how much time is it actually taking us to close out these tasks that we're opening as a part of these incidents. So I can do that by using our time interval mechanism. Now what we're looking at here is the duration in between a task open event and a task being flagged as closed completed, matching on the task attribute, which is our task ID. So we're looking like for like on the task. How long is it taking us on average, maximum, minimum, all those statistics we saw previously when we open up a task to close it. And we can see here the average closeout time for any one of these tasks is over 41 days, and the maximum is 11 months. And now to exacerbate this issue, we saw on the previous screen that we could be opening up to 25 different tasks as a part of any given incident, which would lead us to believe this could be a problem, right? We want to drive down, if possible, the number of tasks that we're opening up as a part of any given incident based on these statistics. Now we can go even one step further here and choose to break this time interval dimension down by any of these different attributes that we've loaded. So if I'm curious if an employee, for example, may be taking their time with some of their tasks, I can choose to break this down by employee. And now each one of my employees has their own given histogram relative to how long it's taking them to close out their tasks. And now the object here is to be able to just do visual comparison. Compare one against the other to see which one of these looks skewed. So our general average, as I mentioned, is 41 days. Let's take a look at SMay and see how long it's taking that person to close out their tasks. I sub in SMay, and we can see on average it's taking them 2+ months, 2 months and 10 days to close out a given task on their incidents. Okay, so now this visual cohort comparison allows me to pick out those things that I may consider to be outliers, drill in, understand exactly how long it's taking, in this case, that person to process the tasks, so that I can go understand if that person needs to be retrained or how we can help them to be able to turn around these tasks and in turn their incidents in a timely manner. So you can see how quickly we can go from understanding overall incident durations, drilling into a specific sub part of the process, and starting to uncover the root cause for why things may be taking so long.